verse 15 to 18. Simon Peter and another disciple were following Jesus. Because this disciple was known to the high priest, he went with Jesus into the high priest's courtyard. But Peter had to wait outside at the door. The other disciple, who was known to the high priest, came back, spoke to the servant girl on duty there, and brought Peter in. "You aren't one of this man's disciples too, are you?" she asked Peter. He replied, "I am not." It was cold, and the servants and officials stood around a fire they had made to keep warm. Peter was also standing there with them, warming himself.
Here we see Peter and the other disciple, most likely known to be John, out of concern for Jesus and curious to see what would happen to him, follow him towards the high priest's courtyard. At this point, Peter is separated and told to wait outside alone. The courageous and self-confident Peter, first to step up and defend Jesus, who'd followed him to the courtyard rather than run like the rest, is left outside, alone with fear and temptation building up. Then a conversation starts between Peter and the servant girl when she asks whether or not Peter was one of Jesus' disciples, the man standing trial. Rather than declaring his allegiance to Jesus, he denies him instead, replying, "I am not." Hang on. Peter had promised Jesus in the upper room in John 13, "I will lay down my life for you." There was no better opportunity than this to keep that promise and stand with Jesus in trial. But the temptation was too much. He could not resist denying him. And this should not come as a surprise to Peter or to us, because Jesus predicted that he would deny his name. And Jesus was right. Jesus kept his promise. What he predicted happened. And this is a reminder to all of us that when tempted, when the pressure is on, when our life could be at stake, even the best of us succumb to denying our faith in Jesus. So today, as we reflect again on Peter's actions and identify with him in our hearts, let's remember Jesus. He was all alone, having been betrayed, deserted, and now denied by Peter. Yet he resisted temptation with prayer and stood the trial we deserved. Let's allow the weight of that to sink in.